got nothing. Let's go.
Adam, what do you? I mean, not that it's like earth-shattering, but just having Quinnen back, ending.
Yeah, that was good news yesterday. For those guys to get that done, and then him getting on a flight and getting here last night, and then coming out here and crushing the conditioning test, and we just thought it was the right move. Just hold him out of practice, not put him in a bad situation of doing the conditioning test and practicing. Hadn't really been in meetings. He's been in one meeting so far, so we'll get him going this afternoon with our walkthrough, and then tomorrow morning he'll be ready to go.
You didn't actually sweat it, did you? You didn't think so?
With
protracted holdout, did you?
No, I wasn't. I mean, you always think it's going to happen. It's going to happen at any time. It's not something I'm going to sit there and worry about because it's kind of out of my control.
What kind of impact did he have for this team as a rookie?
I think it's another good player up front. I mean, I think that's a good place for us to start it. Get the two lines going, defensive line and offensive line. I think our defensive line is slightly ahead of the depth-wise what we have on the offensive line, and there's some good players up there. I know every day that I'm out here and I'm looking at what we're going against on defense. It's tough. Those guys battle every day.
With Quinnen, are you going to teach him one spot for now, just to get him comfortable in one area and then expand his?
I don't think there's such a thing as one spot in Greg's defense. So, the thing is with him, his intelligence and how he picked everything up in the spring, he's a quick study. He's very good with just his football intelligence is off the charts, and they're able to move him around. And the way that Greg's system is, they do a good job of teaching it, and guys do a good job of learning it.
So we could see him on the nose on one play. And
he'll be all over the place, just like all the rest of those guys. Leonard lined up in a couple spots today where I was kind of like, all right, that's good to see. So I think Greg does a great job of moving these guys around. It's hard to figure out where anybody's going to be.
Is your experience, Adam, with young, just seeing playing against young defensive linemen, do guys at that position kind of have a smoother transition and a quicker transition to the NFL than like a quarterback?
Then quarterback, yes.
Yeah, well, maybe that's a bad thing,
I think a lot of the position it would be yes, because those guys can play with more instinct.
Right.
It's you can design a defense and say, hey, get up the field and penetrate and make it simple for them, and they can go do that. And there's some guys that you just keep building their library up, and Quinnen can do whatever Greg asks him to do because he's smart and he picks things up so fast.
He said he was out there and he was kind of standing there itching, and he said, I know that play, I know where that play's going. That kind of speaks to what you're talking about, is how quickly.
Yeah, it's very annoying when you have these defensive linemen that seem to know where you're going before we move, and we got a couple of those guys, and they always tell me it's because they played us the last couple of years. They're like, we know your offense. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it, and that's why we've never moved the ball on you. But that's a smart group. Those guys, they're working hard, they're studying hard, and when they're coming out here, when you listen to those guys talk, the information that you're hearing them kind of speak to each other, it's really amazing.
Is that what stands out most with Quinnen, his intelligence, or is there something else that you've seen through OTAs or the workouts?
He's in the backfield a lot. I mean, he's a good player. I mean, that just helps him. That helps him get another extra step outside of his athletic ability, and that's where you see a lot of those guys up front. You look at the guys that have a lot of success, like Aaron Donald. Like, he is smart and he's a freak athletically. So as you put those two things together, it's just it makes it tough to stop. And he's going to have some things that come up over the year where he's never seen before, or somebody traps him and he's not anticipating it. So he's going to go through some times where he's learning how to handle what the offense is giving him.
He'll definitely practice tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Who is the best? What did you think of how Le'Veon looked today? Second straight practice, he gave him a good amount of workload.
Yeah, I thought he was good. I thought the guys on offense did a good job of coming out here and executing what we were trying to do. We're still, every day is going to be just a little bit, we just got to keep showing improvement.
He missed the first portion of practice. Why?
He was handling something like we have to, every once in a while when you have the league come in and they do their yearly drug tests and stuff like that. So, I mean, he had to get it done at a certain time.
Adam, the offense looked like it hit a couple more shots today than maybe we've seen. I know Robbie got deep, Quincy got deep, Ty got deep as well. Is that kind of speak to how you can open this up when all the pieces are kind of working together?
Yeah, we did a couple things after yesterday. You know, we wanted to make sure that we give our guys a couple more opportunities down the field. The first day back, I feel like the defense figured out we were trying to be smart, and then so today the guys were ready to attack down the field a little more.
Ideally, like in the perfect offense, because you acquired arguably the best offense ever, you spread it around, and there was so much. So it's such an unpredictable nature to it. Even though you have some talented players, especially Le'Veon, is that what you're trying to do? Is to basically have a spread the wealth type of philosophy?
It's really what we always would do is who's the defense trying to take away, and then the other guys would have to understand that they might have to do a little more that game than the game before. And that's kind of how we ended up with so much variety. It was like somebody got taken away every game, and here so far it's going to be, what are we going to do when we start playing preseason game, regular season game? Who are they taking away that week? And then other guys making sure they're picking up the slack for that guy. Because when, if you're a receiver and you're getting double teamed, it's hard to get the ball to them all the time. And somebody else might have to step up because they got one-on-one coverage. So really it's going to be, right now we're just trying to make sure we're getting all the guys involved as much as possible. Sometimes the defense dictates. One guy might get, like yesterday, Crowder had a whole bunch of catches and Robbie didn't have as many targets. It's just kind of what Greg was playing, and it just worked out that way. The ball was going inside. So every day is different. Today it seemed like everybody was getting involved. It was just kind of how it worked out.
When will you know that you have like a core group of five, 6 guys that you can trust week in and week out?
I think it's just going to just take the duration of just learning each other. Like for me, I'm still, like I don't want Robbie to think, hey, these are the 5 things I'm going to do. I just want him to keep expanding his route tree so we can narrow that thing down. And it's the same thing with each guy. We're just trying to give everybody as much as possible and just see how it kind of all sorts out.
The way you kind of talk about practice and specifically in going against Greg sounds like a game in terms of Greg was trying to take away Robbie. Is that unique to this year? Like, have you experienced that before?
I haven't experienced this much variety of things that what Greg does, whether it's pressure, coverage, the type of coverages he does, the disguises he does. And the guys are, like, we're not having busts on defense. Like, you don't see guys just running wide open. Like, they're executing what he's asking them to do. Like, there'll be minor details that need to get corrected. But I've never experienced it where we're seeing as much as what we do this early. And it's good for our guys because our guys need to see it all. Every week's a different deal for us.
What are you looking to expect from the offensive line this year?
Well, for us, it's just going to be, make sure those 5 guys really gel together. They got to play as a unit. We got to do a great job, one, running the football and then protecting the quarterback. If we do those things, we give the quarterback time to throw, that's going to open up the running game even more.
You mentioned yesterday the young corners needing some guys to step up. With that in mind, how critical is it for Tremaine to kind of lock down that other side for you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me it's competing against him over the years. I guess that's just kind of what I expect, where when I see him come out here and the focus that he's had and, the aggressiveness he's been playing with in the first 2 days and kind of what I saw in the OTAs, our goal is to get him back to that level when we used to go up, whether it be at LA or St. Louis, when we go out there and it was scary to throw to the side. And he has a good look right now where he's focused and, he wants to have a good year.
He seems to have his best years with Greg. Is there something in your experience, sometimes a player and a coach just click for whatever reason? Maybe it's a personality or a schematic.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's probably what it is more than anything. And Greg's not shy about saying anything to anyone. So I mean, if something occurs on the field that he wants to make a correction, he's not afraid to tell him. And I think Tremaine likes it like that. I think Tremaine wants to be someone that gets coached. Good players want to be coached.
Do you feel there's a sense of urgency on the O-line to protect Sam Darnold?
Yeah, I mean, the best O-lines I've been around are the guys that really don't want to see their guy hit the quarterback. And they want him to make sure that he's always upright. They want to see him at the end of the game. If he's wearing white pants, they're still white. And, hopefully, we can just keep improving and making sure that we do a good job. It's a challenge every day with our defense, so it's making us better.
What did you think of Poole today? Made a few plays first
Yeah,
back.
it was good. I know he was excited to get out there, and it was good to see him, get involved and that's what he does. He's got his hands full going against Crowder every day. So I think those two guys are making each other better, and that battle is going to go on all camp. It'll be good.
Jamal has been pretty outspoken in previous years about culture here and setting the right culture, and he likes what he sees now. You bounce things off of him in the past.
We talk a lot. A lot of times on the field. Anytime I walk by him when we're around the meeting rooms, he's trying to shoo me away because he don't like what I'm saying. So, but I love his perspective on things. I mean, when you see a guy when he hits the grass, man, it's all ball, and he brings the energy. Like he gets both sides going because he's going from the time he gets out here until the time he gets off the field and probably a little bit after. So I mean that does something to guys. When there's a guy that brings, you feel it. He's got juice to him. I mean it's fun to be around. It's fun to coach against when you're on the opposite side in practice. It's just one of those things where you're glad you're on the same team as him because he brings fire every day.
With Bell, he said that there was going to be some catching up to do when he got to camp in terms of like learning the offense. Where is he in that process?
I asked Sam yesterday. I was like, hey, was he asking what he had? And he's like, he didn't say anything. So he didn't have many mistakes, if any. So he doesn't know what he's doing. He's faking it pretty good.
Everybody good? Thanks very much.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Hey,